Hey everyone, finished watching the next Power Rangers Dino Thunder episode, House of Cards. Ethan and Devin are playing a card game, Dragon War. They're apparently playing with cards they hadn't gone through yet, as Ethan is shocked to find a rare card in his deck. Principal Randall comes over and confiscates their cards. She plans on turning the rare card, Ruby Dragon, into a new monster. Dr. O goes to Principal Randall's office to discuss getting the cards back, and he walks in just as Randall turns, for lack of a better word, into Elsa. After a brief scuffle, Tommy contacts the others. He pursues Elsa and a fight breaks out in front of the school. The students see the fight and wonder what's going on. Ethan tells the Rangers Randall is really Elsa, just as she transforms in front of all the students, revealing her true identity to everyone. The Rangers discuss how stupid they've been not to figure out Elsa and Randall were the same person. Ethan is bummed out that she still has his Ruby Dragon card. Trent gets an idea and leaves. Trent goes to the island fortress and for some reason acts the way he did when he was evil. Huh. Okay. Don't really know why, but whatever. He fights Elsa for the card as well as for his father. Elsa threatens to tell the Rangers his father is Mesagog. Elsa successfully brings the Ruby Dragon to life and orders it to attack Trent. Back with the Rangers, they talk about how Trent's been secretive about something lately, and they don't know what. Suddenly, the Ruby Dragon attacks. Anton Mercer comes to the island fortress. He finds Trent waking up from the dragon's earlier attack. Mercer begins to turn into Mesagog, and Trent leaves to join the others. Elsa and the Pteranodrones attack. Elsa once again threatens to reveal Trent's secret. They fight her off, and later, Trent lies and says to the Rangers that his secret was actually an invisiportal that leads to Mesagog's lab. Trent goes to sleep off dizziness from the dragon's attack while the others return to battle. But then Trent just shows up immediately, so I don't know what the point of that was. The Rangers destroy the monster, Elsa makes it grow, the Rangers call the Zords, and they defeat it. Same old, same old. At the island fortress, Mesagog tells Elsa her time is running out. Elsa still has one of the Dragon War cards and plans to use it against him. At school, Tommy bumps into Anton Mercer. Anton Mercer is considering becoming the new principal. His pager goes off and he reaches into his pocket. The Ruby Dragon card falls out, and he says he doesn't know how it got there. Suddenly, he falls over. Tommy tries to help him up, but he runs away. The Rangers chase him and see him become Mesagog. The Rangers figure out that this was Trent's secret, and their trust in him is shaken. This episode is frustrating. It's got some really good moments, but then also some monumentally stupid moments. There's the usual logical inconsistencies and nitpicks that most people probably don't even notice. It goes right over their heads or it doesn't bother them at all. But then there's the far bigger issues I just can't overlook that easily. The first thing I want to point out is a nitpick. Why is Ethan surprised to find the Ruby Dragon card? He says Dragon War is a strategy game, but if he's going through a random deck he's not familiar with, then how can he build a strategy? I don't get why everyone is so hostile towards the game. Cassidy, Kira, Dr. O are all like, isn't that a kid's game? Like, it looks like Yu-Gi-Oh! They're in high school. High schoolers play Yu-Gi-Oh! This was a normal thing. When I was in high school, I remember there being kids who played Yu-Gi-Oh! There was a whole club for, like, different card games. The next thing I want to talk about is one of the bigger issues, Elsa's reveal. A trend, it seems, in the Disney era is to just drop reveals in front of the Rangers by complete dumb luck. There's no build-up to her reveal, no clever piecing together of clues. She just transforms in an unlocked room during school hours. Here's my own idea of how I think this could have been handled better. Elsa teleports through the invisiportal just as Tommy walks in. Tommy mistakenly thinks she was sucked in by it and follows her. Once they're in the island fortress, she pretends not to know what's going on and stealthily calls the Pteranodrones to ambush Tommy. She sneaks away during the fight and brings the Ruby Dragon to life, and Tommy sees her do it, and that's how he figures out that Principal Randall is actually Elsa. It's still Tommy just seeing her do something, basically, but there's some weight now. Elsa made an attempt at hiding her identity and took this thing to her advantage. As it is, it's just like the Thunder Rangers reveal in Ninja Storm, where it's like, poof, they transform in front of the Rangers, and it's whatever. Speaking of, Elsa's secret identity is one of the stupidest aspects of any Power Ranger series. There's no difference between the two aside from how they dress. They have the same face, the same voice, even the same personality. Miss Randall, most of the time, acts cartoonishly evil. Ethan compares her to Clark Kent and Superman, and how no one ever puts it together that they're the same person. And something I want to point out about that particular statement is People not seeing the similarities between Kent and Superman is purely within the fiction of Superman's world. Outside of the comics or the movies or whatever, Superman and Clark Kent being the same person is the most dead obvious thing. It's the most mainstreamly known joke that you can make about Superman. In Dino Thunder, Ethan is presumably referring to the fictional Superman. If Superman is real in Dino Thunder's world, and like Ethan is referring to like Clark Kent as an actual person that becomes Superman in their world, then his statement is destroyed, because him acknowledging that Kent and Superman are the same person doesn't make any sense when he says that no one points it out if he knows it. Probably thinking way too deep about that. It's just a dumb line they tossed in to try and salvage how poorly thought out Elsa/Randall's identity was. This is also one of those weird episodes of Dino Thunder that like suddenly remembers a whole bunch of stuff that was set up episodes ago and then was forgotten for several episodes. Trent has been behaving strangely, we're told, because otherwise we wouldn't know. He's worried about the Rangers discovering his father is Mesagog, which is treated with higher stakes than usual. Elsa also finally remembers she was planning on betraying Mesagog, although she does wait until like the very end of this episode. Invisiportals are back, and I'm really questioning, why are Invisiportals a thing at all? What purpose do they serve? Why didn't Dino Thunder bring back teleporting? Tommy is from the first series that used teleporting. It makes sense to bring it back here. Mostly it's the villains who seem to use the Invisiportals, but again, why can't they just teleport like nearly every other villain could do? Maybe it's because the creators wanted Dino Thunder to be more grounded in science than magic, but then the question swings back around again to why Invisiportals? What makes them any more or less magic than any other modes of teleportation in the past? We've never gotten any explicit information explaining how they work or why they occur. Anton Mercer's true identity being revealed is slightly better than Elsa's. I would prefer the Rangers finding it out for themselves, with Trent confirming it, but this way's fine. Something that really struck me funny in this episode was Kira's line when she sees Tommy and Elsa fighting.
Okay, do you think Dr. was going just a little over the top trying to get Ethan's card back?
That line made me laugh quite a bit. I like the card game element and wish it could have been used earlier in the season instead of nearly the end. Monsters being summoned from cards is how Lightspeed Rescue's monsters came about. Just an interesting little thing. It is funny that when Elsa wants to bring the Ruby Dragon card to life, she puts it in one of the DNA jars, so it's floating in fluid, which would probably ruin the card. Also, like, the card has DNA that it could extract. What? The Pteranodrones are used, but not the Triptoids. It's still weird, and I don't understand why. Zeltrax is still gone. That's nice. I like Trent's struggle here. He's split between his friends and his team and his father. I think this, too, probably should have been introduced earlier in the series and maybe been more of a running thing in these intervening episodes, intervening in between, whatever. Overall, this isn't a bad episode. It's actually pretty good, but for the most part, but I think this episode definitely reveals some of the weaker side of the writing and some of the characters. Although there is some real... Like I said, it's a frustrating episode. There's really, really good stuff, and then there's really stupid stuff. So yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.